You know, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, I hear, and so all the presents, of course, have been wrapped, including this one, who just, like, let me stick stuff on her. You should just, you know, just put that right there, and it's good. It's very good. It's great. She doesn't mind at all. I'm just gonna, like, leave that there until, yeah. Welcome, everybody. I should probably leave that open since there's a cat in there, huh? Just accidentally closed her out of the door, which I'm willing to bet everybody here has done before. Welcome, everybody, to December 23rd, 2019. As mentioned, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. There's a bunch of junk on my bed from where I was getting out Christmas presents and the like to go wrap them up, so now that they're all bagged and stored away, I'm about to go run an errand. Just as a side note, I am still doing these, yes. I've been working quite a bit recently. I'm willing to bet these will probably go up before. That would be my guess, and I probably should work on them a little bit. But I have been working on Terraria Hardcore, and as you can see, there's the first episode, there's the second episode. They are good to go. I'm also working on the third episode right now. I'll open up the folder for that. But yep, there is the stuff for episode 3. And in order to avoid spoilers, I'll forego the rest so you can have that little tiny mishap that I had right there. You might be able to tell what that was, but I doubt it. It's fine. I've also been taking a break with some little bit of a casual Mario Golf in between editing everything because, oh boy, it's quite the workload. Let me quickly open up episode 3 and show you what I mean. This episode has been crashing like an MF, I'm telling you. It's been bad. So I tried grouping things together to have less tracks. For those of you that never use Camtasia, basically each track, you can have like an audio track, a video track, you know, whatever the case may be. So I tried grouping them together. That's already a good sign right there, not responding. In order to, you know, see if, because I had like, the second episode was like 18 tracks, like there was a lot of them. And grouping them together, it's probably a good thing I did that. So for anybody asking, oh, what does it take so long to edit Terraria Hardcore? Well, the first part is I didn't start until a couple weeks ago. This is another reason why. There's another 45 right there. It says Group 1 and Group 4, but that's Group 1 and 2. I'm guessing since this was a group of 1, 2, and 3, that's why it says 4 there. But, yeah. It's a lot of work. It's basically editing. You have to take one run through and just balance the audio as best you can. Another one to put in the toolbar and the camera to show where the camera's changing. Another to add in all the funny little visual effects. Another to add in all the flashing whenever somebody's in trouble where their icon will flash red. So yeah, like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun, but man, it's a lot of work. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that people will like the final product. If nothing else, I learned a lot about how I would change things up in terms of audio balancing and whatnot next time that we do this. So if we have another season, which I'm willing to bet hopefully people want another one, we'll kind of see. But for now, let's go run that errand, shall we? It has been nothing short of absolutely freezing cold the last few days here, which, you know, you'd think living in Texas that wouldn't be a problem, but when you live in North Texas, and there ain't nothing to stop the weather, no hills, no trees, no nothing, it means you get days that it doesn't get above 29, and winter hasn't even officially gotten here proper yet. Not like winter solstice, but like January, February is when we get the big hits. So for winter's greatest hits, see next month, I suppose. Where are my keys? There's my phone, there's my key, sorry, my wallet, not my phone. There's my phone. Come here, phone. Freaking phone. Trying to get away from me. Alright. Let's go run that errand. I don't think I have anything in here I need to get rid of. Cool. I wonder if she's still in there, just sitting away. She is. You have not moved at all in that entire time. You've not moved, you've not gotten anything off of you. Except for, I guess, the little toy car. That's very sad. Very sad. So lazy. It's not as bad today. I'll know when I round this corner here. No wind yet. Well, that's a good sign at least. Usually it's a lot worse, but it's okay right now. It's not great, but it's okay. And you know what? For winter, I'll take okay over absolutely awful. Alright, let's go run that errand. I do have everything I need, right? Yep. Okay, cool. Let's just set you on the dash here. While I get my seatbelt on. I guess when I get back I could show my not diploma. Whenever they give you the diplomas, I didn't fail or anything. Whenever they give you the diplomas, they give you just like the little thing that you would put one in. And then after that, they'll you know, properly send you the real deal. Probably because they don't trust relatives and the like to keep their grubby paws off of it and potentially tear it up by accident or on purpose. Which is a fair assumption to have based on how things went with the gown and cap. Might as well tell this story while we're going along here. I just got to run an errand to get a $20 gift card to somebody from Sonic. And no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm giving it for my mom. Though I am actually all for giving gift cards. I know people will say, oh, it's not personal, whatever. It's like, well, if there's a store you know they like going to, or a restaurant or whatever, then you don't run the risk of making a mistake to something that they don't want or they'll never use. So, like, impersonal, maybe. More effective, definitely. Because then you know they'll get what they want. So, I have no problems with them personally. But yes, the story with the gap and the cap and the gown, not the gap and the crown. Trust me, that thing was anything but a crown. That did not fit my head at all. Because there's no sizing for the caps. There is for the gowns, but not the caps. So that's a bit of a problem, actually, because my head just did not want to fit that at all. It just didn't. So I got the cap and the gown like a week before graduation, which is fine. Just like left him in my room, you know, whatnot. And then, like, for no reason at all, both my folks started like freaking out 2 days before. They're like, "You haven't gotten your cap and your gown yet. What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "Guys, I've had them for like over 10 days. What's going on? It's fine." And so basically, they got into a fight over it. Like, it was really stupid of like where to store it, and it literally got to like. If you've ever seen any kids cartoon where two people are fighting over something and like they're both tugging on half of it and going, mine, 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 mine. It was like, other than them screaming the word mine over and over, it was almost exactly like that. It was just like, really? It's like they were fine in my room where they were, you know? Like, they just wanted to make sure first it fit, which is like, okay, fine. You know, I had said 6'1" on mine, and it was still a little bit too, not too short, but like it could have been, I probably could have put in 6'3" or even 6'4", and it still probably wouldn't have like brushed along the ground. But I'm also willing to bet they probably decided to change up how the sizing worked because people kept tripping and falling in the past. Not just at my university, I mean just in general, which again, I feel like that's a fair change to make. And so they just like started freaking out over it for no reason. It was really bizarre. But the upside of graduation was that I was like the second department, I think, maybe the third. It couldn't have been more than that though. And after that, like, just graduated, everything went smoothly other than that. And had lunch, went home, went to bed, as I can do now that I am on break because my work doesn't start up till the start of January for Health Science Center. And so now I've just been working like a madman on hardcore, been able to stream more. It's been nice. So I'll show the fake diploma or the mock diploma when we get back here. But first, I need to make sure I get this errand run. So I'll be right back. Well, it's not the 25th, but it is the 24th. So I figure I need to have at least some obligatory light showing here as I head over to a friend's new apartment. Well, newish. He's been in there for probably about 10 days or so, roughly. We're going to do the old-fashioned present thing. He said mine's still not in, but I'm going to at least show what they got, so. Yeah, you just came down this street, dude. That was literally the exact same car. Because trust me, there's very few of those in this town, so unless like 2 of the 5 of the population of 300,000 people just all happen to be here, which I doubt, then something's up. Just saying. So yep, 66 degrees. Honestly, you probably could have fooled me into saying it was mid-70s today. It is just another day in Texas for once. A proper day. So for anybody wondering, will I be getting snow on Christmas, a white Christmas? No. Come to think of it, I don't think that's ever happened in my life. I've gotten, like, snow in this town before, sure, but, like, actual snow on the 25th, I don't believe so, no. And, you know, honestly, that's fine. It's not the end of the world for me anyway. It doesn't bother me too terribly much. Since I don't like the cold, I actually would prefer it about this temperature, if we're being completely honest with you. So hopefully everybody is having a lovely holiday. I spent most of my 24th doing nothing, and will probably spend most of my 25th doing nothing. I have been working a lot on a bunch of stuff, obviously, but since everybody else is taking a break, it's only fair I should probably do so as well. Lights. This is probably like the optimal, well, now it's gone down to 63. This is still probably like the optimal weather for me right here. Not hot, not cold. Wind's blowing a little, but not too much. This is like perfect weather for me. Though a little bit less than perfect is the fact that it is about 6:30, which is what time we were going to meet up. I'm a little bit late, but that's because I'm bad at wrapping presents. And for anybody that's got big hands, having to do like any sort of detailed stuff, so like sewing and knitting, that's all super hard when you have big hands. Like wrapping presents where you have to fold stuff correctly and use tape effectively, like that's really hard. Just anything like that when you have giant hands. Giant hands. Like seriously. That's my hand on the level of the steering wheel. I can almost reach both the corners with my thumb and pinky fingers stretched sideways. It's ridiculous. But apparently the crowd is very much out. I know a lot of people like to go and look at Christmas lights on the 24th, but I guess you just forget how it is each year, you know? Alright, now you can go. Hooray! Provided no one decides to just switch out of the left-hand turning lane and just barrel through. Yes, that has happened before, and yes, it almost caused me to get into a wreck as a result. Alright, let's slide on over here. At some point I may take like an actual tour around my town right before I move, but you know, there's a lot of things here and there. There's Jack and Jill Donuts, which is owned by a very nice family owns the place. That's, I wouldn't say it's my go-to for breakfast food, but like I'll go there every once in a while, and they're super nice. You know, prices are pretty low. They're great people. There's good old Iola Lane. Boulevard, I think is actually what it is. It might be an avenue. No, it is an avenue. Though if I end up doing a tour, I probably will not do it when it's pitch black. And yes, it is 6:30. My clock isn't wrong. That's just what happens when it gets to winter, for anybody curious. Most people probably live farther away from the equator than I do watching this, but if you live really close to the equator and wonder, like, do they really only get, like, you know, like, probably, oh, I don't know, sun's probably up officially at about, like, 7:45, and then it's down by, like, 5:45? Yeah, that actually happens. And the further you go towards the poles, the worse it gets. To the point where it gets, like, some places get, like, 3 hours of sunlight. It's awful. At least in terms of, you know, being able to get the good old vitamins that you need. In terms of not having to deal with the sunlight and, like, the rays and whatnot, for that, it's absolutely perfect. Like, for me, that's optimal. I much prefer the dark to the sunlight. I can actually see what's going on. It's wonderful. The good old flooring center, which I never see anybody in, whether it's closed or open. It's a miracle I managed to stay in place. There's an entrance to my university that's locked right now. Sir, you don't need to come to a complete stop to make that turn. It is not just, what's the word I'm looking for? Not motionly, but it can't be done. You can't stop and be moving at the same time. They're mutually exclusive. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess technically physically is their correct word. Something that involves physics. It's weird. I usually don't come down this far down this street. Well, one of my friends, we just kind of passed their area going down this street, but I usually don't go quite this far. For now, though, I think I'll turn this off so I can actually focus on what I need to be focusing on, and we'll see you guys in a bit.